This is a project that myself and my colleagues in University of Southampton Business School been conducted for 3 years already. So we're using artificial intelligence to help people with different mental health conditions to reduce impulsive spending. So the project called My Brain Bankers, and how this is relevant to blockchain, FinTech, I will try to explain during this presentation as well, because it has direct implications for open banking. And in itself, we are trying not only to use it as a research project and to publish some academic papers this time, as we normally do, but trying to put in the market a digital app, FinTech app, that will also be called My Brain Bankers. And I will try to explain how it works and why we decided to do it. So mental health problem that some of you might be not aware that around 87% of people with bipolar disorder, they report impulsive spending when they're manic. Yeah, so manic phase, and when they're having these specific episodes, depending on the type of bipolar, when they have for several days, occasionally even weeks, can have this condition when they cannot really make weighted decisions. Often it's they're losing sleep during this time, they're getting really impulsive. So it's really the situation when their judgments can be particularly compromised. So 87% of people with bipolar reporting that they start spending money during this manic episode. And even more shocking statistics that 22% will go bankrupt. And this is like 11 times national average. So it's a huge problem for people with bipolar. 93% of people with mental health conditions spend more when they're unwell, when they have these episodes. And 80% say that digital shopping especially hard to resist. So now we are having shopping habits and we're shopping digitally. It's super easy to do using your smartphone, using your laptop or any other device. And of course, it makes it even harder to control this impulsive. And impulsive spending linked also to other conditions, not only to bipolar, but to ADHD, to borderline personality disorder, dementia, brain injury as well, and also gambling, any different types of addiction. When people have gambling addiction, for example, they also tend to be impulsive and impulsively spend. The wider problem, however, that our smartphones are designed in this way that it makes us to buy very easily. All this algorithms on social media transition to the cashless society after the COVID creation of this frictional payment system that we have with the expansion of blockchain, open banking, cryptocurrency. It makes it even easier to spend our money. It's make it even easier to take additional credit if you have any money left to spend, and therefore the impulsive spending becoming an issue already for everyone, whether you have mental health condition or not. But of course, it's very problematic for people with mental health condition. But the average consumer, regardless whether they have any conditions or not, makes around 111 impulsive buys per year, totaling around $3,000, and much of it spent online through social media platform. And we all know how this algorithm works, that you're Googling something for a split second, and after you're seeing trillions of different adverts for the similar products just to encourage you to browse them and to buy. So what is our solution? So My Brain Bankers is the only digital app that helps to automatically detect poor mental health and mania episodes. And this is where our USP lies. So we conduct a very big body of research, and our CEO and my co-founder, he had almost a decade long research of impulsive spending and mental health condition. So we used all these research results to try to understand how we can predict and detect this manic episode to alert the app users that they're entering this manic phase. So how we do it? We use real-time personalized nudges, positive friction, and mindfulness interventions on app browsers and opens. So every time when we're seeing that the person starts spending too much time on different shopping sites, browsing special website, when their spending is higher, or when they're basically daily habits are substantially changed in comparison to their own normal time, then we can see that potentially this person is getting unwell. So we combine smartphone data, artificial intelligence, and behavioral science to basically predict when the mental health state is getting worse, to alert the user, and subsequently to help to reduce this impulsive spending. So our support team provides the help, and you can see some characters here. I think they look very cute. So we have already developed My Brain Banker's MVP, minimal viable product. So we have, with the help of 2 software engineers who also on our team, we developed both back end and front end of the application, and they're kind of in communication with each other. So the back end basically using quite sophisticated and complex machine learning algorithm to analyze various types of predictors that are coming from smartphone usage and from smartphone devices. But also, of course, similar indicators can be collected from wearables, like, for example, smartwatch can be also used to get some useful information about mental health condition and whether the person is turning into the manic phase or not. So our MVP is ready right now, and we are currently testing it for people with bipolar disorder. Why we are focusing on bipolar first before progressing further to testing in for other conditions? Because actually the problem on bipolar is the most pronounced. It's manifests itself more clearly because they're having a very distinct period of manic episode. And if we can address this problem for people with bipolar, the similar solution most likely will be effective for ADHD and for other mental health conditions with less severe manic episodes, right? Because we are trying to kind of to solve the biggest issue and the biggest problem, and to test all our solution tools and nudges, and hence after to basically extended to other conditions like dementia, depression, gambling, and different types of addictions. We want to develop a full app for both Android and Apple for iOS platform, of course, so lots of users can download the app and start benefiting from it. But what is particularly interesting for this solution that we can integrate it with financial institutions directly and to different types of open banking integration as well. So while open banking trying to create completely frictionless economy, which is brilliant, we all know the advantage of this quick access to different sources of finances. Often the problem that lies in front of the developers, how to make their solutions also suitable to protect their vulnerable customers, people with mental health issues, to ensure the ethical use of the technology and the ethical use of their solution and ethical use of the basically the payment service or technology that they provided. And I think this our solution potentially can help to address this problem, how financial institutions enlarge and also open banking providers can also care for the vulnerable customers and to help to make this field a little bit more fair. So apart from me, Thomas Richardson is a part of our team. He's also associate professor in clinical psychology in University of Southampton. So he's clinical psychologist himself, and we're building this project on his research results and clinical expertise. And also he has bipolar disorder himself, so he has this lived experience with bipolar, so he knows himself how this feels from inside. Yeah, when you can't control your financial habits. He recently been participated, maybe you recognize him from BBC Panorama, that also discussed the problem of bipolar and impulsive spending and credits. He was one of the guests there. And Dr. Nick Fair, he's a digital health and IT innovation group from University of Southampton. He's already from computer science and engineering department. But our team is much broader. I think it's comprised around 7 people now, with some engineers, more psychologists, and more finance people and behavioral scientists to help us, like, collectively to tackle this big program. So in terms of that, we secured around £25,000 already already of equity-free funding. We have recruited around 35 collaborators with Bipolar, and they are recruited to test our app to see how it works and how it's actually helping to decrease impulsive spending. Also, like a list of our friends and supporters here who endorsed our project and continue to provide their feedback and support on our development. And of course, I'm very, very happy to answer any questions. This is our contact details. Thank you very much. If any questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you.
Thank you, Larisa. This was an excellent talk. This is not a question, just a comment. One of my day jobs is I'm also a doctor. I'm a stroke physician. So I've studied, how brain works. And I think this is a very fascinating area. It's quite under researched. You would agree with me. This behavioral science in traditional finance and economics, but also now with the digital finance, and how now, since we are going to give a lot of powers to these agents, the AI agents, I don't know whether maybe it would be helpful, because once you have programmed an AI agent, the agent is now working on your behalf. And then maybe something happened to you down the line, 10 years later, you suffer a bipolar disorder or some condition, but AI agent will keep things in balance. But at the same time, if you are starting at somebody with a mental health disorder, and you set up the AI agent in a way that it mimics your behavior and your personality, then it is going to be a continuous loop, and difficult to kind of control. So I was just thinking, what are your thoughts on this behavioral sciences, and the way the future of these AI applications and how they manage our finances autonomously, really?
Absolutely. I think this is very, very valid concern and question as well, because this area is indeed under research. Yeah, I know we have behavioral finance and traditional finance, but in digital finance, research is much limited. And also, I think the creation of AI and such expansion of AI agents also make us to ask question whether their agents will incorporate the needs and the unique needs of people with mental health condition, whether actually they're equipped in order to provide these services, automatic services, to a variety of different customers. And this is very sensitive area as well, because we've been having a conversation with multiple banks, for example, and they always was saying that, everything that related to vulnerable customers is very, very sensitive and problematic area, because you need to be extremely, extremely careful, because on the one hand, we have a regulation when financial institutions can be pretty much punished and fined for not caring for these vulnerable customers. But at the same time, there is not much that they can do, in order to provide the targeted support. Therefore, I think this research that help us to integrate artificial intelligence and smartphone usage data, and just to better understand the behavior of people with mental health condition, can also be used in the future to train AI agents and to train AI algorithms to really to understand when the person with whom they communicate are actually in stress, when their mental judgments are compromised, and hence to adjust maybe communication channel, maybe adjust the type of advertisement that we are seeing, maybe adjust, how the technology communicate with us. So all these algorithms need to become a bit more responsible and to accept these potential consequences they have by just feeding to us all this information. Acknowledging how it might affect individual users.
Yeah, exactly. No, thank you very much, Larisa. Thank you for joining us. It was excellent talk. Thank you.
Thank you.